Continuing the discussion with that Andrew Carnegie had with Napoleon Hill back in the 1900s. Uh, Next thing that Andrew Carnegie says is he talks about this thing called definiteness of purpose. And what he's saying is you need a purpose in your mind, and purpose falls into five different factors. One is you need to motivate your mind by a definite purpose. Two is to stimulate your purpose into an obsession by concentration. Three is to convert your purpose into plans. Four is to use a mastermind, and we can talk about masterminds in the future, using the mastermind principle. And five is applied faith to the process. So with those five factors, the most important one is to have a definite purpose that you're working on. And you want to focus on that purpose to the point of it being an obsession with what you think about. And the more you think about it, and the more you make it an obsession to think about, your mind, your subconscious mind, connects to what Andrew Carnegie says is infinite intelligence, and it also focuses your mind to be aware of things that will affect whatever it is that your purpose is. So if you're constantly walking around thinking, gee, I have to think about this, I want to create this product, or I want to build this business, or whatever it happens to be, your mind will seek out information that goes down those paths to help you achieve that goal. And we see this with people all through history who have been inventing stuff. We can see it with Thomas Edison when he invented the dictaphone, as we mentioned in a previous episode, where he was focusing on that, concentrating on that 24 hours a day until finally something popped into his head and he saw the vision. We can also see it with Elijah Howe when he invented the sewing machine. He was focused on that, and he had a dream that gave him information that said, change where you're putting the hole in your needle. And then within a few hours, he had a working model of today's sewing machine. So we can see this over and over again. And the more you focus on whatever it is that you're working on, and you focus to the point of obsessive thought about that, where you're constantly thinking about it and thinking, how can I do this, and coming up with different ways to do stuff, that your subconscious mind works on that and says, this is important. I'm going to bring in information from all over, wherever it happens to come, whether it's a coincidence where I happen to walk down the street and all of a sudden I see something that sparks some creative insight in me that says, do your product this way, or do whatever you're working on this way. Or if I happen to meet a friend and they say, oh, well, I know this person that does that too. I heard of a case where someone was taking a class on manifestation, and the instructor's talking about, oh, you need to make your manifestations big. And so they went around the room and asked everyone, what do you want to manifest? And one person says, I want to have an investor who's going to invest $10 or $8 million into my product by the end of the weekend. And the instructor's like, well, that's a pretty ambitious way to do it, but hey, go for it and see what happens. And by the end of the weekend, he actually made a connection, and the person invested the amount of money he was looking for. And it ended up being someone else in the class who was taking the class with him said, oh, I have a friend who's interested in exactly what you're talking about, and I'll connect the two of you. And by the end of the weekend, that guy had committed to investing into his product. So you have this obsessive thought where this is the only thing you're thinking about is, I need to get this goal that I'm working on. And your mind puts you in situations where this happens and manifests itself. And it could be a coincidence, it could be a miracle, it could be a synchronicity. We don't know how it happens, but the one thing we do know is by focusing your mind on a specific purpose, you have a higher probability of actually achieving those results. Let me know in some feedback how focusing your mind on a specific purpose has helped you to achieve that purpose.